This computer.
Oh, we got a message. I'm going to leave the meeting because I don't want to be recorded.
You saucy bastard.
Saucy bastard. So what are we talking about today? Christmas,
Hey,
I understand.
Let's talk about, you know
Papa
what?
Soup here, folks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I guess I should maybe introduce you. I don't know.
Yeah, this is something new. So
Some people know you, but some
people do,
don't.
but some people don't. And you're going to be a lot of strangers seeing this. So
Yeah,
for those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric. I am the better half of my MamaSoup.
Hey.
And comically known as Papa Soup around here by a lot of people. So you can certainly refer to me as Papa Soup, but I'm joining Joanne today to talk about Christmas, parenting and Christmas. And I think we're gonna, have a decent conversation about what kind of boundaries to set for your family at Christmas time. And quite frankly, Christmas is all about kids for me. As a single grown-up living on my own, Christmas really didn't have the same meaning as it did when I finally settled down and had kids. And then Christmas became all about the kids. And it's a wonderful thing, actually. I mean, all the hokey stuff about Christmas, the twinkle in the eye of a kid looking out the window at Christmas, it's all true. It's 100% true. Nothing fills your heart more with joy, I think, than watching a kid at Christmas time and watching them lose their freaking minds to wait until that special day to open up their whatever Santa brought them. The whole imagery of Santa, which is really a takeoff from a Christian kind of culture. But most countries have their own version of Santa Claus. But whoever Santa is to you as a parent, it's up to you to build that into your Christmas spirit. And I mean, for us, it's Santa Claus. We've always had Santa Claus, right, hon?
Yeah, but why? We're not even religious. It's such a weird thing that we grew up.
To me, Santa, yeah, but to me, Santa's not about religion. To me, Santa's about the kids. It's about the secret person that's going to come. And if you're good, I love the backstory to Santa Claus. Force the kids to be good all year, or else you're not going to get anything. I mean, at least we're nice over here. Some cultures, like in Europe, have this altar Santa that if you're bad, this demon comes to your house and takes all your shit and kills you.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's a I don't know what it's called, but there's an old story about this alter ego to Santa Claus that if you've been bad and stuff, this thing comes and just haunts you. It's like awful.
That's terrible.
So we've got things pretty good over here, but in North America.
Let's back up a minute, because you said whoever Santa is, that secret person that comes in the night, and we all know who that secret person is.
Yes, of course we do. And I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, we're this hopefully kids don't watch this video. And it's reserved for parents. So yes, parents, you are the Santa Claus in your house, whether you're a fully functional family, whether you're a dysfunctional family, whether you're a single parent, whatever.
Is there such a thing as a fully functional family?
I'd like to think we have one.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, every family has some dysfunction, but at the end of the day, I mean, you and I have been married for over 20 years. We've raised kids together, and we've had our share of just unbelievable Christmases, right? So yeah, and we've always set boundaries for Christmas and stuff, but quite frankly, you can set boundaries, but whatever your personal position is financially or whatever, you can certainly go overboard at Christmas. Like we've had our history of sometimes going overboard.
For sure. That's really what we want to talk about, because that first of all, I would probably call us dysfunctionally functional.
Yeah, okay.
Family.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But the whole thing about Christmas and how can become so overwhelming, so overdone, expensive, and then it ends up not being fun for parents because they're extended financially, emotionally. They're hiding that fucking elf now. Like, where did that come from?
I don't know, but we didn't participate in that. Thank goodness we didn't have to. But
No,
it consumes some household, like it's a complete thing.
I
And the
know.
thing I find funny about that is a lot of people feel the need to share that on social media with the new place for the elf on the shelf.
Yeah,
And whatever floats your boat, right? Christmas is make Christmas what it is for you and your family.
yeah.
You know,
So
create traditions and stuff. And like we had traditions that the kids couldn't come down until a certain time in the morning, even though Sam would be up at 3 o'clock in the morning, our
I know.
youngest, you know, eagerly trying, he'd sneak down and stuff, all the good stuff. I remember doing that as a kid,
Yeah,
sneaking and having a look at presents, trying to guess at what was under the tree.
for
The
sure.
magic of it is just, there's no comparative to the magic of that Christmas spirit. Um, yeah, and I mean, if we're going to draw religion into it, if you're religious, then you do whatever your religion dictates to you for
Yeah.
Christmas.
So like
And there's no, yeah, go
you and
ahead.
I were raised a little differently because you were raised Catholic for a while.
Yeah,
So like, did you go to church then on Christmas Eve?
we did. Like, yeah, like Joanne says, I was raised Catholic from a young age, from birth, basically. And quite frankly, my parents, I think, did it because that's what you did back in the 60s, right? Your kid was, you claimed a religion, we're Catholic, okay. And unfortunately for me, it meant that, you know, I got circumcised without my mother's permission, which she
Right.
was
Yeah,
which
it's
she was
not,
really pissed about.
but
Uh,
circumcision isn't a Catholic belief. That's a Jewish
but
thing.
yeah, I know, but it was back then. It was the thing to do, and then because the doctor was probably Jewish. I'm not trying to start a jihad here and anything, but
It's
I'm just
just
saying my life started with Catholicism by having my foreskin removed, right? And it was like, I had no input into it, so whatever. So religion was kind of forced on me at a young age, and I went along with it because my parents took me to church, and I enrolled in, you know, Catholic schools, and I was an altar boy in church for quite a few years, up until I was about 12. And then Christmas became more about Santa Claus for me than you know, God.
okay.
But
So
yeah, we used to go to midnight mass. We used to do all of that
yeah.
traditional Catholic stuff at Christmas, right?
And so by
Um,
comparison, I was raised without religion at all.
mhm.
My parents were not raised religious, nor did they impose religion on my brother and I. They thought that it was important to let us discover for ourselves what we wanted to believe. But Christmas at our house was far overdone.
Yes, yes. I remember my
Far.
first Christmas with your family. I was blown away
I was
at the level that your family went for Christmas. Not to mention the extended size of your family. Like the Christmas parties. For me,
oh
people have to understand, I came from a small family.
yeah.
In comparison to you, I mean, there was my sister and me, and then we had some relatives in Montreal. That was it.
Mhm.
So we would travel to Montreal for Christmas when I was young, spend a week there, kind of stuff, stay with my grandmother. But I mean, when I met you and we went to the first, you know, Page Christmas party, and we went into your aunt and uncle's house, and which was beautiful, by the way, at the time. But my God, there's this house with like 60 people in it,
Those
and
are
you're
my
related, and you're related to all of them. That I was so overwhelmed, especially when Phyllis came up and kissed me on the lips for the first time I ever met her.
listen.
You have to know who Phyllis is to understand that. But
That's only one side of my family. The other side's even bigger.
I know I was going to get to that. Like, I mean,
Oh,
that blew me away. And then we went to the Suter one that needed a separate location and a hall to rent with tables and potlucks and everything. And it was fantastic. So many kids, so many people celebrating Christmas, some person playing Santa Claus for the kids. There was singing. Your mom organized singing, and you know, you had presents, gift exchange, all that stuff. I never grew up with that ever in my family. I'm not dissing my family. We had our Christmas, it was specific to us.
yeah.
I never wanted for anything. I mean, if I asked for something at Christmas, generally I got it. So I was spoiled. You say I was spoiled. My parents were, you know, comfortable enough to offer that for me and my sister, which was
So tell
great.
me then,
What?
is it then is where did my Christmases feel different and overwhelming and exciting because you just didn't have that? Like, so what's the secret for parents to throw a Christmas that their kids are going to say, oh my God, that was so fantastic. Like, I remember going
Yeah.
and singing and having dinner. How do we?
Yeah, that kind of stuff would have made a lasting impression on me as a kid, for sure. Like it did for you, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying my Christmases didn't have, I have great memories of Christmas with my family.
No, like, because now I'm at a stage where I really want to have quiet Christmas. Like,
that's because we're in our 50s and we're sick of it all.
Like, I just want to have somebody cater my dinner, and maybe my kids, will come home and then leave.
Yeah, have enough of that. Well, I mean, like I said, we've had our share of big Christmases, and it was awesome, and everyone was awesome.
All right, so I think we should take some of our wisdom, years of parenting experience over Christmas, and give some insight about how to pare it down or to make Christmas more meaningful for kids, rather than just make it like a big toy dump.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's a good segue into this my comments here about that. For me, the person I am is I'm financially sensitive to everything. I feel a whole responsibility in my family to take care of my family. Christmas can get out of hand real fast. You really do need to set limits. We never really did. We just kind of went and did what we could because we were fortunate enough that we could afford to do that, right?
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is, yeah, we bought a lot for our kids, but I guarantee you probably 70% of what we bought over the years for those kids, we didn't have to. I think the deal here is to listen to your kids and understand your kids. Understand who they are as people, what drives them, what do they love, what would bring them joy.
Like experiences.
Experiences, like I said, kids who are, what do you call it? Extroverts, love singing, right? Love the games you play at Christmas time. As of late, only the last few years, we've started to play games at Christmas time because our kids are older.
It's been so much fun.
Our youngest right now is 17 and our oldest is almost 30. So it's like, okay, what do we do now? We don't have the pleasure of, Santa's coming kind of stuff because they know Santa's us. And it's basically, it becomes about socializing with your kids now and talking to them and having fun with them. And we do that now, right?
I heard somebody say what you should do is gather your family together and ask them, how do they want to feel on Christmas Day? Like, how do you want Christmas to feel to you? Do you want it to feel like you're just a, spoiled, rotten brat, which I was kind of.
Oh, but same here, spoiled. Spoiled, but I never considered myself a brat because I never whined if I didn't get something at Christmas. Because quite frankly, I was happy to get anything at Christmas. I was kind of like our son, Brandon, our oldest son. Brandon was a treat to shop for at Christmas because Brandon would accept anything you gave him.
He didn't want anything.
He didn't want anything. No. And then we have other kids who had higher expectations at Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And but as a parent, you set those expectations. It's all about the life you provide for your kids. So if they expect something like an iPhone for Christmas, you've set that expectation in their heads.
Or if you can
provide you can provide that for them.
And for God's sakes, don't give a kid an iPhone or some expensive gift and say it's from Santa.
Yeah, that's
really bad precedence for other parents and kids to
absolutely it is. You look at it like that as a kid goes to school and says, look what Santa brought me, and that other kid who wasn't as fortunate goes home and says, why didn't Santa give me an iPhone? Right? What a horrible thing to have to discuss with your child.
Yeah.
So and honestly, best advice there, make expensive gifts from mom and dad, okay? Mm-hmm. Santa should be reasonable, right?
Let Santa bring coloring books. That was always something for us, like the puzzles and the small.
You know what, Joe? You were always great for that. Sorry to interrupt you, but you were always great for that. You were always great to get the kids coloring books, reading books, educational stuff that wasn't just mindless or food.
No.
Something that the kids could do activities with and learn from and build on, right? No mindless toys. There was a couple of those, but the majority, I was so impressed that you would go into the book section and start buying books for these. And I mean, honestly, we both our girls love to read, so books were a good choice. The boys, not so much,
Yeah.
right?
So,
and again, it's all about understanding your kids. It's all about understanding what person they are, what they love, what drives them, and that should drive your gift. But again, always at the back of your mind, think about the outcome of what the presents are going to do for your child. Bring joy, or is it going to, I don't know.
Is it going to distract them for 10 minutes and then they're going to throw it out?
Oh, I mean, how many times have we stepped on toys on Christmas Day that they've completely forgotten about, right?
That game Operation, what a farce. You lose all the intestines and suddenly you can't play the game anymore and it's frustrating for them. But
my worst present to give a child was a fucking craft box with 10,000 beads and things to make necklaces. Because you don't give that to a 5-year-old, because you know where that shit's going. It's all over the place, and it's going to end up in your vacuum. So don't waste your money. Yes, it's a good craft, but you control the box. Here, you have this bead, you have this. It's like Lego. Remember Lincoln Logs?
Yeah,
Lincoln Logs were a big one for me. They were fantastic because you can build your own stuff. It's hours of fun.
I know.
Kids love that kind of shit.
Yeah, they don't get enough like imagination play now.
That's exactly it. One of the best stores we ever shopped at was Mastermind. Yeah. Mastermind put a lot of thought into development of kids through toys, through reading, through
sensory.
Sensory products. Like it was amazing.
I'm gonna give a plug to a really amazing store in Peterborough called the Play Cafe, Lavender and Play. And because they have really cool toys that you don't find at Walmart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very easy, especially if you're budget conscious. It's very easy to go shop at Walmart. Yeah. Joe and I spent hours at Walmart buying stuff that the kids had on their list because you can't compete with Walmart. At the end of the day, if you're worried about money, Walmart's the place to go and shop. I like to shop local myself and give local businesses an opportunity. We are a local business. So I understand the nature behind it, but quite frankly, if you're budget conscious, it's hard to not.
I know, we had 4 kids too.
I know. I mean,
Christmas to 4 kids is insanity.
We also had a really good support network of grandparents that contributed.
We do.
Quite a bit to that as well.
So I think also the thing to mention here is that we have, like you said, we've been together as a family for over 20 years. And so we haven't always been in the position that we're in now financially.
No, we sure haven't.
No. And so we had times where we couldn't really afford things, but we still did it because we had this sort of pressure on us now, our kids expected a certain Christmas. And so then the pressure's on. And so then once we were in a different position financially, we started to scale back Christmas. I thought that was kind of interesting. Whereas when we didn't have a lot of money, we were trying so hard to make up for it at Christmas.
That's amazing, isn't it?
And now that we've got it, we're okay, now we're going to do things support. In the past years, we've supported entire families.
And we absolutely did.
Yeah.
And the thing that's nice about supporting another family, to me, that's the best thing you can do at Christmas. If you're capable of doing that, reach out in your community, because you know what? I get emotional here because I knew how you grew up as a single mom and the panic and worry that you would have as a parent with Christmas approaching and you weren't able to provide for your kids. There's hardly something worse for a parent to feel, and especially for a kid that goes to a school or has friends that are not in the same position. And then they get comparative, and then it just makes you feel, because you get the hard questions. Why didn't Santa bring me much this year?
Yeah.
Why didn't that? And as a parent, that is gut-wrenching. So if you're in that position where you can only give so much, it all depends on how you've raised your kids too, for what expectations they have. If they don't expect a ton at Christmas, that's in your ballpark. That's great. Yeah. you know. But if you've built up this false life where the kids can have anything they want and you're going to indebt yourself to do that,
Yeah.
that's on you as a parent, right? It's
Yeah.
not, it's not going to make you feel better about yourself to overextend yourself.
And even
Because after, I'll tell you, after Christmas, that's when reality hits and those bills start coming in and you're like, oh, fuck. It's like, Jesus, I can't believe how much Christmas costs. And yeah, Christmas can cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and we would do things too, like we would involve the community when we did our family buy. We let our kids, each of our kids, throw a party, but a Christmas or a holiday party. But the thing was, we weren't doing gift exchanges. It was just like, if you want to bring a gift, you can bring a gift for our family that we're sponsoring.
Right. Or bring a food bank donation or something.
Or a food bank, exactly. So yeah, we've had some.
It is funny, like you said, that we started out with pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
But we did a lot at Christmas, and then when we started, having something at Christmas, we backed off of Christmas because we realized that it's not a waste of money, but it's an unnecessary over expenditure trap that you can fall into, and it's false. It's false because, like I said, on December 26th, Christmas is gone for a whole year, right? But now you're stuck with, oh my God, I bought all this shit, right? You don't need stuff. Christmas is not about materialism.
Yeah, no matter what your religion is or no matter what your beliefs, you get those 2 days off. You should just focus on spending it
with your family.
With your family, only if you like your family too.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other subject right there, dealing with family at Christmas. But yeah, I mean, Christmas, whatever Christmas means to you, that's what you should really explore for your family. For us, it became more about giving for us later as the kids got older. We would go for a walk on Christmas Eve and hand out Secret Santa packages to
we
our
still
neighbors,
do that,
right? And that was your idea, and I so loved that idea that we would do that, not just for the be nice to your neighbor kind of stuff, but we used to force our kids to do it. I remember Chrissy that one time we made her bring the package and drop it off at the porch, and she got caught. Oh my God!
What are you doing?
What are you doing? And she was like, and she kept turning back and looking at us, and we're like, "You're on your own. You got caught." But it was wonderful. She came back laughing and smiling. It was a box of chocolates.
Yeah, boxes of chocolates.
It was a box of chocolates. I mean, but that whole Secret Santa thing, the anonymous gift thing, I'm a big fan of. I love it. And not for social media purposes, which people are doing today, where they're giving to the homeless, but they're filming it all.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
And it is ridiculous. And I really applaud people that don't do that.
People don't even know that we do that.
You don't need to know. People don't need to know that, for the last 4 years, I personally, myself, without my family, go and donate stuff at the local shelters and stuff.
I know.
Because that's what I want to do, right? And it's like, nobody needs to know that.
It's so weird. I didn't even know you did that.
Nobody
until last year. You never even told me.
No, because it's not for anybody else. It was for me, right? I've been so fortunate in my life that Christmas is about giving for me. And it's not just about giving to my spoiled brat kids and family. It's about giving to people that don't have what I have. And even if it's a little thing, I like to do it. It makes me feel good. I'm a helper. I mean, I get pleasure from helping people. So, I mean, if you're not like that, then you're not like that. I don't care. But like I said, that just means what Christmas is to you. But I don't socialize or tell people, or, for my own accolades to know, oh, I donated a 50-pound ham to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Or the people who pay it forward at Tim Hortons or whatever. And then they just socialize it on Facebook. I pay it forward almost every time I go through. I pay for the person behind me, and people don't. I never tell anyone.
No, because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
You're trying to help, right? And yes, at Christmas time, absolutely. I applaud stuff like that. Paying it forward, I think, is a good mantra. And take it with a grain of salt, whatever the reason you're doing for it. If it's for your own gratification, so be it.
So here's the thing now.
But
On social media, all these, families, moms, parents, they are trying to live up to this standard and show this standard of how they not just as it relates to Christmas, but lifestyle standards.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like they show themselves in their, fancy cars and their private jets and their big houses and everything. How do parents say enough is enough? I don't want my kids to think that that's normal, because that's not normal.
Well, like most functioning parents in a situation that have kids, when a kid gets to the age where they want to get you presents, every parent says, don't buy me anything, because every parent understands Christmas isn't about materialistic things for them.
Yeah.
It's about their kids. We've told pretty much every Christmas since I've known Joanne, we've told our kids, don't buy us anything. And if you have a need to give gifts, which I understand completely, the gift of giving is a wonderful thing. Make a gift.
Yes.
Kids can't understand the joy that a parent receives from having something handmade.
Yes.
And even if it's just a note that says, I promise to do this, or I thank you for this, or I love you, or whatever, means so much more to a parent than a trinket from the store, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, my kids used to come to me saying, what are we going to get mommy for Christmas, right?
Diamonds.
And yeah, well, unfortunately for them, their mother's a jewelry whore. Luckily, we've got a child that works at a jewelry store now, so we can get some discounts. But I mean, honestly, no trinkets, no. I'm at a point in my life where I don't need anything. I have more than I need. I need to get rid of some stuff.
Yeah.
And I've collected a whole shit ton of stuff. And quite frankly, I'd be happy not receiving a fucking thing for the rest of my life at Christmas. Yeah. Except having my family. What I do love at Christmas is to have my family together, to feed them, and to have conversations around the dinner table where we all laugh. And we do that, and it's wonderful. And some of the best memories I have at Christmas is that. Not only that, some of the best memories are where we used to be like Nazis and hold the kids at the top of the stairs. You can't come down until mom says so. Mom has to be the first one to go through everything.
I was trying to make it perfect.
I know you were.
Yeah.
I know, but that was our tradition, right? That was okay, because that was our tradition. We used to, when I first met you, our tradition was to go to the farm for Christmas. We'd go up Christmas Eve, go to your parents' farm, which was a fantastic spot for Christmas. You couldn't be more picturesque. No. Beautiful farmhouse, covered in snow, right? Like snow, like I had when I was little, like fucking 3 feet of snow, right? And bringing the kids and their snowsuits and the dogs and everything, and just having the time of our life at the farm. Mm-hmm. But I remember you and I having a conversation a few years later saying, you came to me and said, Eric, I want to start our own traditions. I love the farm, love it. And it still can be a part of Christmas, but we need to start our own traditions at our own house.
Yeah.
And we did. And quite frankly, no matter what home we were at, we had our little traditions that, bring tears of joy to my eyes sometimes, because God damn it, Joe, you and I were good parents. You know what?
We
really were, and I posted on social media a while ago about, kids not realizing that it's not just parents trying to raise their kids are raising parents as well, right? And parents grow just like kids do. So we've learned a lot over the years from our kids and our family about everything, not just Christmas. Yeah. But I'm not sure where I was going with this point, but anyway.
So let's try and bring this around to something, like wrap it up. What if there was one thing about Christmas and having kids and all that, what's one thing you would have done differently?
I would have toned it down.
Yeah.
I think we went overboard. I think we spoiled our kids, and we set a level of expectation that was unattainable for a lot of parents. Yeah. And because we did that, it stressed me out a lot at Christmas time. Yeah. And then we got to a point where we were talking about not doing anything at Christmas, but taking everybody away for Christmas and going on a vacation, which, I mean, if you can afford to, absolutely, it'd be a time of a life. I know people that have done it, but that's a lot more expensive than buying Christmas for home.
Yeah, it's
right?
true. It's basically it's just a way to run away from all the stress of it all.
Yeah, but it was something different because,
Yeah.
20 years of Christmases, it's like, maybe we want to change things up this year. But
Yeah.
I always appreciated that you wanted to be more active at Christmas in the community, whether it was supporting a family, which, like you said, we've done. And Lord knows we've helped some families. And it feels so good to do so, especially when they respond back. I know a lot of institutes that are the middlemen to organize, put families together kind of stuff at Christmas. They have requirements, yes, we'll do all the gifts and stuff. Thank you for donating it. And then they ask the receiving families to write a letter or the kids to write a message or something back. When you see that, when you see a handwritten letter, we got one once from a mother of, I think she had 3 kids who,
Or
it was 4. And
Yeah.
she, you tell it, you know it better than I do. You tell it.
well, she was very appreciative of everything that we had done. Yeah.
Because she said, she goes, I can't afford to give my kids a Christmas. And that broke my heart as a parent. And we were in a position, sorry, that we could fix that for one person, If we make a difference for one person, it doesn't make a difference. You don't have to change the world. You just have to affect your world, right? So if you can do it, please do it. You have no idea the joy you will receive from something like that. And you don't have to socialize it. You don't have to, show people how great you are. I'm not like that. I am not like that. The only thing I like to socialize is my dog. And for some stupid reason, because he's our latest child, I guess that's why. But yeah, it's just
giving back. That's what I wish I'd done earlier. Like that I'd taken I wasn't raised to not have the focus all on toys and the excess.
Yeah.
I love my parents, but they really did, my mom really overdid Christmas.
Your mom loves Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she loves Christmas.
She still does.
I know she does.
And so I wish that I had stopped trying to capture that magic.
Yeah.
By
spending money. Yeah.
Spending all that money, and instead of actually capturing the magic by doing something nice.
Yeah. And I think we instilled that in our kids.
Hope so.
For the last few years, at least, anyway, we've exposed them to that. To it's not about you; it's about helping others.
Yeah.
Right. And we got all the moans and bitches about I'm not singing. We're going house to house, and I'm not. We wanted to go caroling. Well, for those of you that know MamaSoup, she's a little bit of an extrovert, so she loved the idea of going caroling to the neighbors. And I was like, well, I mean, I'll do anything and try anything. But oh my God, it was trying to get our kids to do that. No, not so much. Not so much. But it doesn't mean we didn't have fun.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Guess what?
Oh my God, there it is. Isn't that thing dead yet?
Yeah.
Why did this was a Christmas present I bought for Joanne about 2 or 3 years ago.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
For somebody well, I have to tell that quick story about the one year we got Emma the karaoke machine.
Oh God.
We bought our oldest daughter, I think she was 12 or 13 at the time. She was also an extrovert. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we thought a karaoke machine would be awesome for Emma. So we bought one. She opened it on Christmas and loved it. Who do you think used it all day Christmas? Yeah. You did.
It was fun.
It was actually your toy. This is the kind of things that you liked. And I loved it. I loved that you couldn't stop singing. I absolutely love when you sing at Christmas. Singing is like pure joy. When somebody is singing in their house, they're happy, right?
Yeah.
Nobody sings when they're sad.
No.
So to have a family and a wife that loves to sing is a real bonus for me. It is. It's Joe, you've really, you know what? you've altered me and shaped me over the last 21 years to be a much better parent by the small things you do. Yeah, things like that. I never grew up singing Christmas carols. You have to appreciate that. And again, I'm not downplaying my family's approach to Christmas. It was wonderful. It was just different. So to have you expose me to huge families and to your joy at Christmas of singing and to your mom's joy of giving and cooking and just, I mean, it's changed me, and I just want to say thank you for that. I think that's
you're the best.
It's changed a lot for me about Christmas. I still worry about Christmas because of the expense, because I'm a dad who worries about money.
You're also the money guy in the house, so that's just.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm always worried about money, right? And yeah, except for the dog. It's ching. What's the dog? The dog's probably going to get the most presents this year.
Yeah, of course he is. Gonna need a new blanket because he's eating his right now.
Oh, whatever.
Anyway, we need to wrap this around.
To wrap up, I mean, my final comments are: Christmas is for a parent. Make it what it is about you and your kids. Know your kids. Know who you're dealing with at Christmas, and try to make that experience about them, about all the things they love to do, about the stuff that makes them happy. If you've got a spoiled brat that only wants 37 presents because he got 35 last year, right, is all about the numbers, then you have a problem. There are kids like that. There are kids that count their gifts. We had issues like that in our own family. Oh, that was the big thing, was trying to balance out 4 kids. Holy cow. I could go on for another 2 hours about Christmas.
I know.
But we would make lists and go, okay, so we have all this for this person, this. Ooh, this person's only got this. Shit. So now we gotta fucking balance it out. And that's when you can get into trouble, because one of your kids, them way up here. So it's just, okay, oh, they'll love that, they'll love that, they'll love that. Bang, 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 bang. You buy all these gifts for them. Then you get to the next one. Okay, don't know them that well. No, they won't like that. Anyway, it can end up being a nightmare. But yeah, make Christmas about you and how you understand your family. And don't go overboard. Don't leverage yourself beyond your capabilities, because you'll hate yourself. It'll just be a thing that keeps you awake after Christmas.
Every year, it'll just be like the most.
You'll start to dread Christmas. Yeah, you'll get that lump in your throat, like, oh God, now I have to prepare for this. And what level of expectation did I have? The level of expectation is the big challenge to set for your family.
So set it early.
Yep.
Set it when they're young.
Yep.
And
stick to it.
And if you're going to spend money, spend some on your kids, but also don't forget about people in your community.
Absolutely.
I love you.
Absolutely. I love you too, baby.